Hello everybody on YouTube. Today I'm starting off with a new sort of series, but instead of gaming this time, it'll be more of learning how to make a game. So if you don't recognize this program, this is Unity. It's a game engine I've been using to design this one game I've been making originally it was for kindergartners, but it was too hard for them, so now it's for second graders. But in this video, I will be teaching you basically the layout of Unity and how to use stuff in it. So in the later videos, it's not too confusing. So first off, I'm going to show you what the game is and what you do in it. So as you start off, you have these icons on the side. You can hit 1, 2, or 3 to select them. And basically, your objective is to destroy all of these targets, which are in multiple levels. And each object has a different property, so the basketball bounces, the ice cube slides, and the bubble pops. So yeah. And you have to use them for different things, this is one reason why it was really complicated for kindergartners, because they couldn't comprehend shooting a bubble out the window. So then there's this nice little menu for when you pause the game. You can still shoot when you pause the game, that's an issue. But basically there's multiple levels you go through and destroy all the targets. So in this entire series of videos I will be teaching you how all these scripts work and how the game itself works. And hopefully you'll learn some stuff. So to start off with the interface of Unity, remember you always have all of these little tabs up here. So you have open scene and projects and stuff. Undo, I use that a lot because I mess up. But you can just kind of look through those. So when you select an object, you either have the options right up here in the corner. And by the way, you need to watch this in HD so you can see well. So these buttons in the corner, you can either use the hand to just drag around, pan around the world, I guess. And so with this next button selected, you can move the object around using these little slider things. So you can drag it up, green one's up, blue one's left, and blue one's like X, I think, X or Y. But then again, you can do Command Z and Z to undo those. You can also rotate it with the next button. It's a little swirly sign. So you can just rotate the object. Or you can scale it, so make it really big. And the middle, on the scaling, the middle cube scales the entire thing. So the green one would scale up and down, so it gets thicker vertically. And this one basically does it horizontally. So for the layout, as you can see, I have the scene here, the game on this little tab that you can change, because I don't need to see them both at the same time. And then your hierarchy, project, and inspector. Now to get to this layout, you can do this little drop down box in the corner and hit 2 by 3. And that puts the game down here. And I like to put it up, or just drag it next to the scene and it'll stay there. And also this button right here says maximize on play. I like checking or clicking it, it sort of stays inwards. So you hit that, and when you play the game, it goes full screen. So instead of where if you didn't have it, it would just stay in this window while you play it, which I don't like. So to get next up, so the hierarchy, I don't even know how to say it right, but it basically gives you a list of everything in your game. So when I select this object, the floor, which is a cube, it highlights it right here in the hierarchy. So as you can see, I have a lot of cubes. those are all just for the first level. The other ones are sort of, for the other levels, they're sorted into different spawns and stuff. So the project has all your source files for whatever you make. Like if you want to, for example, have the targets in the game that you shoot as a prefab, which is basically like an object you can store but sort of not in the game. So I have the target right here, and if I wanted to add another target in the game, I could easily just drag it. But in some of my scripts, I have it so it will oops. I have it so it will instantiate some targets, and let me just show you that real quick. So for example, if I can find one, oh gosh. So in this script, I think it's there, possibly, maybe, yes, here it is. Let me just open that up. So I have right, dang it, I'm sorry. Here's the target variable. It's variable target as a game object, and whatever this script is on, I can sort of, I think it's on the main camera. So here's the script right here, and when I make that variable, it has the target right here. It has target, and then usually this will just be empty, so it'll say none game object, and then I can take this target and drag it in there. So rather, if I were to drag a target from in the game into the script, it would always spawn where that target in the game is. So in the project, you have all of your folders and stuff. Usually it's more organized, but I wasn't the only one working on this project, so it's kind of messy. So up here, you can either right click or just use this create tab in the hierarchy or project, and you can create a folder or scripts or prefabs or any of these that were listed. Now what I forgot to mention is in this scene window, you probably need a mouse with 3 buttons. My Mac mouse, by default, it has just the magic mouse. It has 1 button, and that's the whole mouse. So I have just this other mouse, has 3 buttons on it, basically. The normal click to select stuff, right click, which you use to rotate. And right now I'm in perspective view. So if you hit one of these, as you can see, this little key with a bunch of little dimensions or arrows pointing at it. If you click one of the arrows and then use the right click to rotate around, you'll notice that everything looks all messed up and skewed, and that's because it's an isometric view, which it doesn't take, objects that are further away aren't smaller, so it's kind of confusing to look at, but it's kind of easier to work with as you just move around in the screen like this. So you use the mouse wheel click to pan around and right click to rotate, and that makes it really easy to navigate. Now if you click on the little cube and then rotate the screen, it just moves the camera instead of like revolving it around where whatever object you selected on. So it makes it harder to navigate, but it makes more sense when you're looking at it because the level down there, if you were standing over here, is smaller, which makes sense because that's how it is in real life. So now down here you have sort of it tells you if you have an error or the debug log. So you can click on it, it brings up this console. It tells you what errors you have. I have this one called you're not allowed to call get game object while declaring a variable, but that doesn't stop the game from running. So I think that's pretty much it. The inspector, forgot to mention, when you select an object, like for example my camera, it will give you its position, rotation, and scale, and whatever other things are attached to it. So, for example, this main camera, which is what the player is, it has a script called Max ICUS. I don't know what that stands for, but it's the GUI script or graphical user interface. I didn't make this script, so that's why it's Max's GUIs. So basically, here's the script right here, and if I wanted to put that script onto the player, I would just drag it from the script into here onto the player, but I won't do that because it might mess some stuff up. So if you want to launch your game, you have this simple play button, and pause stops you, and you can sort of edit the world as you're playing, but it won't save it. So once you, say if you were to move this wall, or if you just scale it really fat, then unpause the game, it would be really fat when you're playing, but I actually can't see it. But once you unpause, or once you stop running the game, it will revert back to its original form. So that's pretty much it for explaining the general idea of the Unity interface. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next video.